Does that mean they're watching from a different channel?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and we are live. Yay.
Oh, this is fun.
I know. Welcome, Ellie. Welcome, Linda. We are
Thank
so
you.
excited that you are here. Oh my gosh.
Good to be here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's rainy, it's wet. We're all really tired of the weather, but we have good times ahead, right? It's going to calm
Yeah, but
down.
today's supposed to be the last Armageddon day here in California.
Yes.
LA's getting it hard too.
Yeah.
You got to get your bathing suit out, Linda. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So ever since I started watching you, Linda, which was I think in 2018, you were on in 2018, right?
Yeah, I think when did I start doing the show?
Well, I signed on in June, so you were the first one that I was watching.
Okay.
And so mesmerized and so intrigued by the awareness that you had, by the story that you had about connecting and listening.
2018, February 24th.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
So when you started telling me your dream, or telling the dreams, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I just wanted to ask to start the conversation. Oh, can you hear that?
That's the rain.
Gosh,
oh, wow.
the rain.
Okay. Wow.
So my question is have you always remembered your dreams?
I used to keep dream journals all the time.
Okay.
So I have tons of dreams. I had a lot of fighting of evil dreams when I lived in Laguna Beach. I mean, fighting evil. I saw Christ, but that wasn't a dream. That was an encounter when I was 8 years old. But that dream on the show I remember talking about, because it was so profound, was Trump being dead in a glass coffin.
Yes.
At a soup, what do you call
Shopping mall.
Shopping mall. And I went up to the coffin and I looked, he looked waxy. And he had lights on him like Stalin, but nobody was coming around to look at him.
Oh my gosh. And that was years ago, right?
And I said, that man's going down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily by death. I mean, we are going to witness his fall.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. I kind of feel like I'm hearing the coffin makers attaching the lid. You know, that creaky noise that happens when you're screwing something on, because everything seems to be moving exactly as your dreams were talking about. Exactly, predictive dreams, incredible clarity. I mean, they're so vivid, Linda. Right?
I know. I've had dreams of Rachel Maddow, of Trump. Got a lot of dreams
of Don Jr.
Don Jr. I remember the dream of Trump where I actually feel sorry for him in the dreams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've had that. Remember when he came off the plane after the thing that happened in Oklahoma and he had nobody show up because they took the tickets? And I saw him come off the plane and I really felt sad for him. I don't know why. I just did. Yeah. I must have lost my mind.
I don't think you lost your mind.
The good news is the predictions that I've been saying, and you too, Allie and Kate, I don't know if you predict. You talk about dreams, but he's going down. He's going down.
He is going down. We talk about all the different kinds of dreams. So the prediction dreams, we've really only had a couple of people on that are that in tune. And in some ways, I think what it is I think that spirit guides are saying, we can trust her with this information. We're going to give her the megaphone and that truth is going to come out. And it's going to come out for the public. Like you said, you understood them to say, because people need to be reassured. They need to be comforted.
Well, I argued. I didn't want to do a YouTube. I said, what? I'm not going to get up and brush my hair. What are you talking about? Because I was on with Kirsten, remember, a couple of her shows.
Yes.
And boy, she looks so pretty and dolls it up and has the nice lights and everything. I'm like, what? Hello.
I know. I'm not that techie either, Linda. I
He said,
understand.
clear as day, you'll help calm them down.
And
That's
you do it.
So I said, I'm a
do?
Virgo. Whatever I can do to help. I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know. I just sat in front of my computer in my living room. I need to go back and look what the hell I said, but I kind of like downloaded. I wanted everybody to know this too shall pass. And by the way, he will be proven beyond a reasonable doubt to be a illegitimate president. It might happen after he's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
But, they're going to find so much stuff.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy. So let me ask you this. When you were first noticing them when you were young and you were doing the dream journals, did you also feel like you had psychic gifts of hearing your angels, hearing your guides?
Yes.
Even back then, way back then.
Yeah, well, I was, my parents were atheists, so humbug,
Right.
But I always saw like lights. I always thought when I was sitting in grade school, of course, it could have been because I always thought I was Hollywood. I see a group of angelic forms sitting there watching me, just observing me. And I thought, ooh, I must be special. So I always thought people were around me. And then I started to communicate a little bit. But, I got real lost for a long time post second marriage. That's when I sort of lost myself, which is actually good because, then post cancer, that's when I was found. And that's what, once you make a promise to them that you'll do their work, they never let you go.
Yeah, they're not going to.
They will put you through hell in a handbasket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything you think you want, they'll take it away.
Oh
as
my
long
God.
as my children are okay, that's all I wanted. And they took care of me and my children. And then they gave me this gift, which expanded after cancer.
Right. Do you feel when you've done a show that high that comes from tapping into the angelic realm? Do you experience that energy and that
People
love?
notice it too. How about you guys? Do they see how you kind of change? And
not as much as you, Linda, but
like I'm talking, and then they'll interrupt me and they'll wait. I just got something else.
Yeah. You get like instantaneous downloads as you're talking. So yeah, we can see the change. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll turn my head to the side.
Mm-hmm. I know that when I'm working with the angels, when I'm working with the guides, when I'm doing stuff online on like this, where we're inviting that spiritual connection, the amount of incredible, beautiful energy that comes back over is so addictive. It's like if I don't connect with my group that we practice and meditate with, I crave it. It's almost like, wow, this is so good. This is so sweet. I want everyone to experience how sweet this is, how genuinely lovely and beautiful and vivid, right? It's so vivid and so beautiful. It's hard to describe. People will call me up and say, are you exaggerating? Are you kind of like, and I'm like, no, this is real. It is so gorgeous.
When you're in the flow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was doing readings, I don't read anymore, but when I was doing readings, they have a way of presenting even that information in a good way.
Yes.
It's really strange. As you're saying this stuff, you're realizing, I'm telling her that this isn't going to happen, but look over here or follow this, or he's not coming back. But guess what? You never really cared about him in the first place. And they'll go, you know what? You're right. I remember one time I went to a house of a lovely woman, been married 50 years. Husband left her for the secretary. She was in this big house, and I sat down with her. And I looked at her life, and I said, oh, my God. And she said, what? I said, girl, you should be grateful he's gone. She said, what? I said, yeah. I said, listen, look at this. You got this new person coming in that'll actually pay attention to you and take you places. And your soul energy is so much stronger than him. You never have been happy for years. God actually answered your prayers. And when she thought about it, she says, you're right.
Oh,
and she
my
met
God.
a real nice guy and moved on with her life and was happy he was
That's
gone.
wonderful.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's hard when you're in the drama to know that there's a reason for the drama and a reason for you to take the left turn instead of the right turn like you always do.
Yeah.
And that trusting element that, yes, taking left is really the better option, even though you know that's going to be hard.
And don't hold it. Don't hang on too tight.
Right.
Don't keep grabbing too tight, because then you're in what they call a state of resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can ask for things, sure, but they can't help you if you're constantly in motion or overthinking it. Like I used to say before all this happened, I used to say, think of God as a master computer. If you keep changing the input, the computer isn't going to be able to give you what you need because you keep changing your mind or doing this or that. Ask and know it is given and go on from there.
Yes. And say thank you.
Yeah.
because it's amazing. The journey is amazing when you trust it. And when you're working with it instead of holding on or instead of putting up the block, it can be an adventure that is beyond your wildest dreams.
Hi, Kevin.
There are over 900 people in the chat, and I would love to say hello to everyone. But I can't do that.
No, that would take up the hour, I think.
Linda's audacious Tata reveal.
Oh my gosh.
Some of them are coming off now as we speak. Wow, God, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask, Linda, when you do the prayers and healing and the pick a card, it is so fast when you are getting the message that you need to deliver. And I am just so intrigued on how do you reboot your energy? Because it's so much coming out.
I eat a chili dog and a big piece of chocolate cake.
Okay.
I don't know how I sometimes I'll tell you what, I'm less exhausted since I stopped reading every day. Every 2 hours a day. The readings kind of drag me out a little bit.
Right. The balance is really important.
But this is fast. And it's almost like I'm on auto. I'm not even there. I'm like in the background reading a book because I just say it as I get it. And that's how I do it.
Wow. That letting go. Yeah. And allowing spirit in. But I think a dog and chocolate shake or chocolate cake would be good too. Yeah. The chili cheese dog. I know, right? So I wanted to ask, recently you mentioned that you heard a female voice. And they were normally a male voice.
It's normally a male voice.
Yeah. So do you feel like there's one main communicator in your team?
It's the man. He's been with me even when I was fighting the demons. He's the one that told me to say the Lord's Prayer when I was in this particular dream. And you had to say the Lord's Prayer and mean him every word of it, or the chair you were in was going to smash on the ceiling. Wow. And I'm concentrating. And I'm saying the Lord's Prayer, and I could hear people screaming because their chair went up and smashed. And I'm concentrating. And I said it, and he's telling me, what to say. He's telling me. And when I woke up, I was still saying it. But in real life, I didn't know the Lord's Prayer.
My gosh.
Oh, wow.
I do not
spectacular
consciously know the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
It's a man. And then he even told me one time, he was talking to me. He's very stern. He's not like peace, love, dove, sweetie type thing.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to have somebody who's, rock solid. And he said, he was talking to me one time and he said, you have something very specific to do in this world. And do not forget the year 2022.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And it was 2022. Well, we're in 23 now, but I started, doing this thing. So, it's like I have something specific. I think this is what he meant, to help calm people around from the madness.
Right. Were you politically involved before all of the telling you to do this, to tell him before the YouTube
Well,
channel?
no, I was always a Democrat, and I worked for the Speaker of the House when I was working as a nurse. I did the convention, the big convention party in 1984 at Pier 45.
Wow.
And got $250,000 donated, and hustled and had a great time. But I was never really like going to rallies or anything like that.
Or watching it on TV, the debates. I think that the change in technology and the opening up of the channels has really pulled people in to become active where they weren't active. I've heard so many people say they felt like they were asleep. Like they just didn't know. They just trusted that the right thing was going to happen and that they didn't really need to participate.
I know. I had a hard time with Bush Jr.
Did you?
I never liked that war.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with him. I thought he was awful compared to this one. No
and now
problem.
I'm finding out, now the real paperwork's coming out that his brother took a whole bunch of votes away so his brother would win. And what else did they do? They deliberately did something they deliberately did something on Jimmy Carter so he would lose. And they did something else in Florida too.
Right, with Al Gore, remember?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that was an incredible turnaround with Al Gore, wasn't it? How he just
the hanging chads and all that.
Yeah. But he did a great job trying to tell us about climate changes. So, in some ways, perhaps that's really why he wasn't going that direction. The world really needed him to be out in front and saying, listen, this is important. Let's pay attention to this. He's actually a pretty funny speaker too. I appreciated his humor when I saw him talking about climate control. So you said that you have some questions for us.
Well, a bunch of people wrote and gave me some, hey, lucky girl.
Oh, cool.
A bunch of people wrote and said they have questions, dream interpretations.
Excellent. Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on. Do you do dreams too, Ellie?
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm not good with that, but
I have to tell you, I love your chimes. I hear your chimes in the background. Oh, they're so pretty. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Jasmine, the main details from a dream I had 3 nights ago was that there was a snake and it was under my blanket. I was trying to capture it, to move it, and I was bit on many of my fingertips. I felt the fangs and felt a jolt in my sleep. Unfortunately, there isn't much else I remember. Thank you both for having this discussion on dreams.
Wow.
That's
That's intense. Yeah.
It is. The fact that it was hidden under the blanket is pretty important to that.
And it bit her.
Yeah, several times on the hands. I'd like to know if has a partner. That's what I would like to know. Kate?
Okay, so what I got from that is that she's wanting to control the spiritual path, and the spirit guides are saying, no, we have to work together. Don't go that way. Inviting her, it's a no, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. And the hiddenness of it may be that there's a part of her that doesn't want to share what's going on with her spiritually right now, but the snake is the key component. So
definitely,
she's not afraid of it. She's reaching for it. She just wants it out in the open, but the snake is saying, stop, wait.
Could be the Kundalini, of course, because that's the snake, the coiled snake.
Right.
And so maybe she's wanting her spiritual experience to come out faster than it should. They say that you have to be really careful when you unleash the serpent, because you can almost go crazy if you let it go too fast. Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Because when I got hit post cancer and I gave my life over, something hit me so hard.
Uh-huh.
I was buzzing for tea. I couldn't eat. There you go. There's your
There's a problem. Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get the
Right.
smell of the earth off my fingers. That fresh earth smell, I
Mhm.
couldn't get it off. My native friend said that's healing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That means healing. But
That's right.
I was buzzing like I thought I could blow out a socket. I was buzzing so hard, and it finally left after 2 days. But
Yeah,
it physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be so
Now,
careful when you unleash
I
it.
have so many dreams about being back in my old childhood home.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have dreams about childhood homes. What does that mean?
Do you want to go ahead, Allie?
Well, I'm only going to offer that your home is always your body. It represents you. And I have a lot of dreams about bathrooms being plugged up. and yeah, and they're not happy about that. Or kitchens, because if you're dreaming about the kitchen, maybe your diet isn't going so well, or if you're having some issues with releasing, the bathroom shows up. And the attic is always your higher self, or in the basement is always, sort of down deep, diving down deep. But did you have good memories in your childhood home?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. Maybe you want to recreate those.
But I'm always in that house. Is totally different now. It got sold and they totally redid it. But I'm always in the same house in the same old neighborhood, and my parents are there, and it's almost like business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
So are your folks still alive, or have they crossed?
Dead.
They both have. So the parents can be the visitation aspect of the dream, where they're coming to talk to you. And
Right.
it could, when you realize that they're there and you're having a one-on-one and you remember that you've asked them something and they have responded, that actually is them. It's them. Okay. That's where you are lucid inside the dream, and you can ask them anything. Chances are they're coming to say, I'm sorry, or they're coming to say, I love you, or that they are proud of you. But if they are just quiet, maybe they're waiting for you to invite them to
They're
say
always
hello.
quiet. They're quiet.
Okay.
They're always quiet.
So they're waiting for the invitation, right?
Okay.
They're waiting for you to say, it's okay. I want to talk to you in my dream
But it
tonight.
doesn't help. I go to the house and I'm like, why am I in this dive again?
We all have that circumstance.
My dad loved that house. He bought that house when he was young with my mom, $14,000, back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
He used to tell me and my sister, you girls keep that house. You fix it up, you keep the house. We're like, yeah. And as soon as it crossed, the house was up for sale.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Back then in the day. Yeah. My mom and dad bought the house in Orinda for $18,000. And
Brenda, hello.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. So it was, it was a circumstance where back then the gentleman wanted out because his wife had passed away. I never sensed that she was there, but he went to the bank and said, oh yeah, he gave me another $10,000. And they didn't even need to see a receipt or a bank statement or anything for the home loan on the house. The gentleman just really wanted out and fell in love with the family, so gave it to my dad. But the home represents how you are. How you are inside, how you are feeling inside. If there is something that is coming up again as an issue, or as wow, I can't believe I'm thinking about this again, or an opportunity to release an old truth. Okay, so if you have had someone say something to you that as an adult now you realize is a crock of what, but you grew up with it. You grew up with that, whatever that label was, then that's your opportunity to let it go.
Right.
To just let it go and stand in your own truth. And inside the home while you're in the dream state, it can be a very healing place. It can be a really open and healing place because it is the home of like it's like it's your heart.
There you go.
If you think about it like it's your heart, then maybe your folks are saying, can we talk to you for a second?
I'll try it out next time and see if I always had dreams too of being in homes. I always dreamed of tsunamis. So I must have died in a past life in a tsunami.
Yeah.
And I was dreaming of being in homes where the water was up to the top, you know, and I would see like dolphins and whales passing by. It was so cool.
Beautiful.
I wasn't even afraid.
Were you on the roof of the house or
No,
at
I
a
was
window?
inside.
You're inside.
And it started to fill, not the house itself, the outside started to fill up to where the dolphins and the whales were
Passing
Oh,
by.
wow.
So
Could be Atlantean or Lemurian or
And I
something.
had a lot of dreams of looking up at the sky and seeing stars and stuff. When I had a dream, and I know this is my two sons. I know those two brothers, because I had a guy who was a past life guy, and he didn't even know I was from Georgia. He was one of the drunks down on Lagoochee Beach. And he said, you had a past life in Georgia. You were a Georgia like princess or something, a belle. But you messed around with a woman's husband, or you were trying to get her husband, and you got shot in the back with buckshot, and you died a horrible death. Because he told me about all the bottles of medicine in this big southern estate. So I had this dream one day that I was wearing this white gown with long auburn hair, and I'm circling and I'm looking up at the stars, and I realize I'm standing in front of an old southern mansion, and I see these two little boys open the door, and both their faces are looking out, and they're saying, sister, come in, please, hurry up, come in. And I loved these boys in this dream. I thought, these are my brothers. And I don't know why later on in life I said, that's those boys.
Yeah, they came back with you. They came back with you.
Past life that we had, probably when I was the floozy.
So my opinion, and this is just my opinion about past lives, is we are here now with the gift of now here. So we have passed through that time frame, taking what we needed to know to be here now.
Right.
And there can be things that, you know, will repeat and come up again. Wait a minute, you missed this last time. Let's see if we can get it corrected this time. But all of those lives, and I would imagine that the three of us have probably been here since day one, running from the dinosaurs.
I always have dreams about dinosaurs.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember my dad putting us in the station wagon, and Godzilla was coming.
Oh, wow.
Is that when you were young?
City lighting up with flames, and my dad was riding that car.
Oh my gosh, it's a movie.
It is a movie.
It's a movie, but you know, it's so much fun to connect to all of that, to understand the continuum, right? That we are this continuum that's moving through, and that this time we're going to open up and solve what those other ones were. So,
whoa, Starlighters, light worker, thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wow, 111.
Oh,
beautiful.
Oh, wow, it's right.
For Linda towards charity.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Hey,
so one of the things that is important to mention, and that is that whatever it means to you is really, we have to trust our intuition, because whatever it really means to you is what it really means. Okay. And there are people that say, oh, I know what that means and I have all the answers, but that's not true. So yeah, it's important to mention. Yeah.
Right.
Neil had a nice weird dream.
Okay.
I had a dream about walking past the rubble of a broken building. I was amazed at the extra large side glass pieces, about the size of a standard door, among the other debris, which were also large. Way ahead of me was my ex-husband. We both knew each other's thoughts about what we were looking at without speaking to each other. I woke up annoyed he was in my dream.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we all have those annoying little pop-ups, don't we?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting dream though too. What do you think, Allie?
Oh God, these big glass shards of glass. How wonderful.
Yes. Huge, like a door
yeah. It puts me in mind of Ukraine. I mean, you see that debris everywhere. So I'm wondering if it was a war zone, and maybe it was their marriage.
Oh,
you know,
it was like a big disaster.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. That could be it.
It could be.
Yeah. Absolutely. I have to agree with you, Allie, that the crumbling, the reflectiveness, the sharpness of it,
Sharpness.
walking past it, knowing it's there, but not actually having it harm you.
Right.
So it may be
See it from a distance. Right.
right. So it may be that there is something going on that needs attention because it's crumbling and crashing, or it may be that they're allowing it to crash, like the tower card, right? That they're allowing it to crumble and go away, and that may be the connection to the ex. That may be that relationship is being completely over, and there could have been, maybe we can get, maybe we, and then the maybe is gone.
Right.
That the maybe is gone because they've gone forward away from it.
Right.
So
maybe the karma's over. Who knows? Maybe
Mhm.
they've sorted out the karma. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
This spiritual seeker wrote, and it's weird because I used to dream about my teeth falling out.
I did too.
What is
Those are the small details. That's what that means. They're small details.
Really? I thought it was that you gossip too much.
It could be.
Possible.
It could be.
Yeah.
So what was the question about teeth falling out?
She just said, and it reminded me, when you are free falling, I find these dreams scary. Also, I've dreamt that my teeth are falling out. I get a feeling of so weird. There are times that I remember dreams, and there are times I don't recall a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of people think that there might be something off if they're not remembering dreams, and I believe that if you are not waking up going, oh, I got to remember that was crazy, I'm going to write that down, that it could be you're accepting the message that is for you during the dream state. It could be that you are on your life path, that everything is going the way it is, that your heart is true to your own truth.
Right.
So there isn't this need to mop you over the head and say, hey, pay attention. So, and the teeth thing is, the details. It's about speaking your mind. It's about having a voice. It's about nutrition and all kinds of things. So, the whole thing with teeth is complicated. The worst nightmare I ever had was that my front teeth had fallen out and hair started to grow in place of them. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Talking about a horror film. Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
It was terrible. It was terrible. So, it's up to the person to actually, sometimes when you're experiencing the dream, it feels so emotional. It feels so vivid that it's difficult to distance yourself from the emotion of it and take the pieces apart and see what they look like without all that drama, because the message are always benevolent. They're always coming for you for a way to support you, to show you that you're loved, to help you open the other gate instead of the one you've been opening all the time. And there can be incredible healing and adventure in the dream world. It doesn't necessarily have to be about spiritual guidance. It can be, let's go play. Let's go visit Paris in the 1800s and dress up with the top hats and the bow ties, and let's go have a blast on New Year's Eve in Paris. So that angelic realm that can be accessed at that time can also be so rewarding. It's like when I'm totally depleted, I will ask my angels for a dream vacation, please, where I am soaking up the sun and feeling the waves and touching the beach or whatever it is. And it doesn't cost anything except,
there you go.
Yeah. Wake up at the smile on your face.
Here's a good one. Tony wrote.
Okay.
I had a dream my son wanted to introduce me to someone. When I asked who, he said it was an angel. I didn't see anyone. But as I was telling him I couldn't see anything, he closed his eyes and his hair flew back as if a strong wind had blown on him. That was the end of the dream.
Oh, how sweet.
Maybe he's the angel, huh?
That's it. He's the angel. He's the angel. And he's right in front of her. Oh, that's beautiful.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is.
Do you guys ever dream about being in a haunted place?
In a haunted place?
I have.
No.
And this reminded, Diana wrote, I had a dream 4 nights ago. I was in a haunted train. I was searching for someone or something. I went car to car and they were all empty and shadowy and very creepy. I'm not sure if I got out or what, or found what I was looking for. I woke up feeling it wasn't a normal dream.
She was possibly on the wrong track.
Mhm.
Right.
And she was possibly, her train of thought was not, it's sometimes these words are also, you can think in terms of words sometimes, and that's how you get the message.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Velma had a dream about her dad who passed away in 2011. The other night, a crocodile appeared. I was so scared. My dad was with me in the dream.
Did he rescue her from the crocodile?
She didn't say. She just said
Okay.
she got scared because she saw the crocodile, but dad was there with her.
Yeah.
She didn't have to worry. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
My son's food's here.
Ooh.
Okay. No worries.
Nice. Every time Linda goes to the door, I think it's Gerard Butler.
It might be one day. You never know.
Oh,
He may be
Seattle
delivering
Roses.
Pizza Hut,
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Katie, I have a couple things to share from this book that I was reading, The Power of Awakening.
Yes.
And I love this as far as the idea of sleeping. It says there's no beginning, there's no ending, there's no cause or effect, there's no time, no life or death. And one of the reasons we dream is to teach us that every obstacle we run into is an opportunity that we can create everything we need and change what we have to in order to grow. So I just thought I was really happy to find those little tidbits. And of course, Wayne Dyer is wonderful in that particular story.
I think I'm going to have to order that book, Allie.
It's a good book. You'll love it. Yeah, I think you'll love it.
I really appreciated everything about Wayne Dyer. And I started listening to him seriously, I think, when I was in my teens. My brother was on a diving team, and they used to do his visualizations as they went through the dive motions before they hit the water. And they were a winning team. So there was an awful lot that made total sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Ooh. Nadja had a dream, a nightmare, that I was arguing with my mom and it got a little physical. It didn't feel like myself. Then I woke up. I love my mom. She's older. And of course, I would never hurt her in any way. It was it shocked me to my core. What does it mean?
It's interesting that she recognized that it was actually her mom and that something was. So she was lucid at that point.
Was she?
Where she was active in that point, she could have turned and asked her mom, what's this about? What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to keep me from? And why would you do this in such a forceful manner? So in passion, right? A passionate manner, a way of the mama protecting the baby. Wait, there's a car coming, grab them. And it's instinctive. Right. So it could be that there was something in going on for her that her mom really did want to reach out and say, honey, let me help you with this. But the way that it came across seemed like it was more of a tussle, of an argument, or of something that was, unpleasant, when it could have been something where if she'd stopped and said, wait, talk to me. You know what I mean? So, but it's really hard unless you're really actively working on it to be lucid in the dream, to ask the question and then remember the answer. So what do you think? What do you think, Allie?
The only thing I found was interesting was that she knew it was her mother, because I've often had dreams about somebody and they haven't looked like who, but I say, I was with so-and-so, but they didn't look like so-and-so. Oh. And that's happened to me many times, and I don't really know why. So yeah, I agree with Kate about the lucid thing, that and you can, if you realize you're in lucid dreaming, which is hard to do for some early dreamers that are working on that. If you realize it, you can make a change. You could change the whole dream. Yeah.
I once went to at some place where a professor of lucid dreaming came. She wrote a book. I still have it. And she talks about how you can change your life, because for a long time there, I think I did a lot of lucid dreaming. I don't know when I lost it, but I would have repeat dreams where I was dreaming and then I wake up and then I didn't want to wake up. So I went back and I completed, I was like 2 or 3
Kate's
dreams.
done that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've done
I
Kate
that
have.
has
too?
done that.
Yeah.
Kate's done that. Yeah.
I've had dreams that repeat, and
Yep.
while I'm in it, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I've done this before. Why am I doing this again? You know,
You
because
didn't
and I
learn the
think
lesson,
that is, yeah, I think
right?
that's life in its journey, that in
Mhm.
order to take the next step, you have to show that you're ready for that step. You
Right.
have to take that movement to another place instead of always falling. What's that say? If you someone that does the same thing over and over and over again and expects
Insanity.
yeah,
Yeah.
different
Einstein.
results. Yeah, you know, it works spiritually too. You know,
Right.
that element of trust. That,
Exactly.
yeah, where you lean into it.
Mhm.
Bridget said she awoke to the name Nathan being said twice in a very firm, take note of this kind of way. Who is Nathan? I don't know a Nathan or know of any dream that occurred beforehand. Any clue?
Yeah, that's her guide.
Oh.
That's her spirit guide. He's telling her,
Yeah,
"Hey, I'm here.
So he
This is who
announced
I am."
himself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so
he did.
cool.
I know. That's
Wow.
really cool.
Diane says, I was walking on a dark street. Another person was there walking on the other side. Then they came walking toward me and I saw they had a knife. I woke up. What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Well, is it a fear dream? Something that's fearful?
Yeah.
Other side of the street is okay, but but
darkness.
stay where you are. Stay
What
where
does
you
the knife
are.
what does a knife represent?
Something that needs to be cut away, perhaps.
Mhm.
But I'm guessing that this person took it as a weapon. You know, that
Right.
they were going to be hurt by it. But
Mhm.
maybe they don't want to cut away something, some part of themselves. Maybe they're fighting with themselves also about
Right.
trying to. Yeah.
That could be it.
Yep.
And you know, what does it mean like famous people? Because you know, I dream all the time of Paul McCartney.
Paul
Oh,
McCartney.
Paul.
He is
Oh,
in my dreams since I was young. I'm always
oh,
with him. One
wow.
time, okay, listen to this. One time Linda came to me, his wife.
Uh-huh.
This is before she died, about 2 weeks before she died. And she said, you have to do me a favor, Linda. And I said, what's that? She said, I need you to look after Paul because I'm getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, honey. Anything you say. I'm actually.
Absolutely.
And then the next thing you know, I'm standing in her kitchen with her and I could see the kitchen, the window. By the way, that's exactly where she lived. And that was her kitchen.
Oh, wow.
But then there was no word, you know, Paul was even acting like, oh, she's a fine. They weren't saying that she was
Yeah.
deadly.
Yeah. Right.
And then she died. So it's like, whoa. Then the next thing you know, I dreamed that Paul wants to come over to my house for dinner and he's bringing all the kids and I'm cooking away. I'm cooking all kinds of food. Then right in the middle of cooking, I realize he comes in. Oh, shoot. You're a vegetarian. And he was acting all cool. Give me the pots and pans. I'll figure out something. Okay. Then another time I dreamt I was up these stairs, standing up on this beautiful, I don't know where it was, but it had tons of stairs. He pulls up in a little sports car. He gets out, he comes up and he says, come with me. And he takes my hand, and he puts me in the sports car, and I'm in the sports car, and we go driving off. And I'm thinking in my head, it was at night, oh my God, Paul McCartney. What the hell am I going to say to him? What do I say to him?
Right.
And then the next thing you know, he's pulling up at his concert and he takes my hand and he's walking me through a crowd so he could get backstage, so he could go on stage.
Yeah.
And I remember him stopping and kissing me. And I remember, hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba, right.
Holding my hand, I'm seeing all these women giving me a pissed off look. Pissed off look.
Yep.
I was so flattered and so thrilled in that dream. But listen,
Well, I wish you had gotten together with him because that Heather really screwed him up, you know.
Oh,
that,
I know. But he's happy now. He's happy with
yeah,
the wife.
he is happy now.
Well, what the heck does it mean? Well, I probably have 50 dreams of him in my life.
What I think it means, Linda, is that they're preparing you to understand celebrity.
What?
Yeah. For
I
preparing you.
agree.
So
No, I
that,
agree.
so that you will understand fans, so that you will understand jealousy, so that you will understand how it means to treat others as you see them. Because you do, you're very diplomatic that way. You are not like saying, oh, they're up there and I'm down here. No, it's one to one, it's straight on. And there's an acceptance there that says fame is a construct. It is what we go through. It is what we need to participate in order to keep our promises that we've made about what we need to give to the world. So in allowing you to have these dates and these rendezvous and car rides and kisses, yes, they are showing you that you are his equal. You are the same celebrity status.
It's nothing to do with a past life with him or anything, right?
No.
Probably
Well,
not.
But don't you think it's weird that Linda came to me? Linda came to me before she died, 2 weeks.
Right, because there's that understanding that you understand that world, that you understand the players, that you understand your role within those players. So it's almost like a preparation, like, you know, when your book explodes and, you know, you've got talk shows and you've got to go places.
Oh, I'm not going to be doing. No, my happy ass is not going on.
Well,
okay, maybe with the second book, but what they're showing, maybe with
I'm thinking, I know you guys are going to think I'm cray, and I'm announcing it here. But I've got this absolute devotion and love, not only for Ulysses S. Grant, but I'm thinking of writing some more intimate details on my Comanche cohort, Quantum Parker. There's a story there. There's a story there. You know, he had all those wives. And he never let a Comanche come to his door that didn't get food. He never let anybody go hungry.
Oh, I think it would be wonderful to write.
And he was a diplomat, and he was a rancher, and the white men liked him, and Senator Teddy Roosevelt. So I'm going to start really, after I get this first book done, I'm going to probably do a screenplay. We should do a movie on him. Who's going to play Quantum?
Oh my gosh, what a great idea.
I want to be the first wife. I want to be the first wife.
What a great idea. Now, doesn't Sterling have film connections?
Yeah, but I have friends who have bigger film connections.
Okay, bigger film connections. So you know what? You should go for it when it tugs at your heart and you follow it. It only makes you more happy.
I need to go to Cache, Oklahoma, and see the Star House. It's getting ready to crash. Apparently, it's owned by a white man because one of the daughters of Parker, they wanted it off Fort Sill, and of course, the white man moved the house and let it just. They didn't hook up anything, so she had to trade it into this guy so she could have a house that she could live in. So we could tell that side story. But anyway, so now the house is a mess and it's falling apart. It went through floods, and that's why I have to go see it before it's gone, because they're saying it's going to be over $1 million, but apparently the Comanches offered to buy it back from this guy, and he said no a couple of times.
Oh my God. Wow.
So, you know,
some intrigue.
It's not tribal. It's not a tribal house anymore. So anyway, yeah, we could do a movie or a screenplay. I could put that money and fix that house.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. Wouldn't that be fun? It sounds like that's a dream that you're planting the seed on today.
There you go.
On the first day of
for fixing the Quantum Parker house with the stars on it.
Yeah.
I realize it's just a house, you know, but it's really falling apart. If you YouTube it, you can see people doing a walkthrough, and the flood went up, like it's near Cache Creek, and the flood went up 3 feet, and it's really sad.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But what a wonderful, he was so handsome too.
Oh.
And tall.
There's the story in the making here.
There you go.
And he was so good to everyone. Of course, his favorite bride had the best room.
There you go, Linda. That's awesome. In 2014, I started and I wrote about 50,000 words. I was writing a book about Freddie Mercury and a fan's devotion to Freddie Mercury. And I was so wrapped up in Freddie Mercury for over 2 years. And I felt as though I could not do him justice because he was such a perfectionist that my book would never be good enough. And so I stopped.
That was you. That had nothing to do with him.
I know. Oh, I know that. I did. That was my fear, I guess.
You know, it's
coming
not
in.
good
Yeah.
to aha people that way. You know, I do that, like faking, like Gerard.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
I saw him down the street, hey Gerard, how's it hanging? You know,
Right.
I would not drop everything. I always like to tease because I
Uh-huh.
may be turning 70 in September, but I still got the hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm right behind you.
This is a girl whose dance card used to be full back in the old days, you know.
Oh,
But I'm not worried about. You should never, ever. Even Paul McCartney is Jesus. He's a legend.
mhm.
But if I was really sitting in a room with him, that's what helps with doing this
Yeah.
because you realize
You're
people
right,
are
Linda.
human. You know,
Right.
Freddie Mercury was human. And
Yes.
so, you know, yes, he was a genius and an artist, but don't ever, you're human and you probably could have a brighter light than he did.
We'll see. I still got the manuscript. I just gave it up at some point, but
well, if
never
something
know.
happens to my book, we'll drag
All
you
right,
in.
we'll go into that one.
Okay.
That's awesome. Did you have another one for us, Linda?
I got so many, but do
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh, I love it.
Patricia said, what is this, Linda? You have dreams with Gerard Butler, and I have dreams with Anthony Hopkins.
Ooh.
Well, I hope it isn't Clarice dreams.
Oh, listen, you guys, just between us. How many people are in the room?
14, 19.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh my goodness.
Just between us, there's a new movie coming out with the guy that was in, he's New Zealander. He he was known for his temper. He used to be with Meg Ryan for a little while.
Oh,
Russell Crowe.
yes.
Russell Crowe, called The Exorcist Pope, is coming out next month.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
I saw the preview for that too.
I love that kind of stuff. Most
Oh
people,
my gosh.
you know, my kids, no, not going to watch it. Yeah. So Travel said, having a dream of the house that was my mother's and was sold, she didn't want to move, but had to because of financial reasons since she passed. But I have dreams that she's at the house and doesn't want to leave. And I keep telling her, we have to leave. It's not ours anymore. What's that about?
Aw.
Did
One
she say
thing-
her mother was passed? Her
Yeah.
mother. Okay.
But actually, I think she's saying the house that her and her mother were in was sold. She didn't want to move in life, but then she has passed, and now she keeps dreaming the mother's back in the house.
That sounds to me like there's a situation that she doesn't want to address, that she doesn't want to face, that
Yep.
she wants things to go back the way they used to be or the way things were comfortable. But reality is showing her that you can't go back. You have to move forward with this.
True. Can't go home again.
You have to let it go.
Yeah.
And you know the
So
fact
the
that
mom's not stuck in purgatory or stuck in the house. Really, it's the dream.
I'm thinking that it might be an earthbound spirit that she's trying to convince to move along, but doesn't realize that. Yeah, it could be.
Could be. But, you know, it can also be just the face that she recognizes as someone that was older, wiser, protective. You know, I don't know what the relationship was with mom, but, you know, mom often represents that nurturing, protective, wiser, older, you know, person in your life that, you know, you turn to and you say, I don't know what to do with this. Help me. What should I do? Who is
For the
saying,
mother in you, isn't it, Kate? Don't you think? Sometimes we look at the child and it's the child in us or the mother in us and that doesn't want to move on. Yeah.
You know, this is a dream that I wrote down that was pretty profound. Maybe it wasn't a dream, but I was in like this beautiful glass amphitheater with these beautiful ceilings, and it was all crystal light. And I was standing on a stage. I have a lot of dreams about standing on a stage. And I was wearing an illuminated gold long gown. It was shimmering with this strip of like a silver right down the front of it.
Oh, gorgeous.
It was beautiful. And I'm standing there, and just the place is just beyond. I mean, layers of people. and I start singing. I used to do a little bit of Oliver and stuff like that. But
Yes.
my days of singing is over. Like Mel used to say, I hope your mom gets back her voice lesson money. but I'm singing in the most beautiful voice, and I can't believe it's my voice. And I'm singing to all these people. And then I heard in my mind, this is God's place. And I woke up. I wanted to stay in that energy. I wanted
Oh my gosh,
stay in
how
that
beautiful. Oh
was
my
that
gosh.
a visitation, or was that just a wishful dream? Or
I think you were in God's place. I think
I
you
think
were
so.
you were in heaven. You
In
were
between,
in
or in
wherever
between
God is.
lives. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe in between.
and maybe in between lives.
Yeah.
I sure knew how to wear
Beautiful.
that gold shimmering dress.
Well, when you first said it was all glass and it was structured, I don't know if you're familiar with the Albert and Victoria Museum that was put up in Queen Victoria's day. It was an all glass building. And I don't know if it's still there. I think it may have burned or gone away or whatever. But they said it was the most magnificent place. And I could just see you standing there as like a
But
cabaret
it was
singer.
it was like it
Yeah.
had layers upon layers of people sitting, looking at me, watching me.
Wow.
How gorgeous.
I absolutely love it. I got goosebumps.
Was I behind you doing the backup singing?
Yeah, there you go. And another profound dream I had years ago. I was in a Model T Ford. I think I was in nursing school. I get in this Model T Ford with these other people, and the man driving said, okay, you guys are all dead, and I'm getting ready to take you to the other side. However, one of you is going directly to the master. And I remember in the dream thinking, well, that won't be me, because there's no way, And we're going up, and then all of a sudden I could see my body dissipate, like I was like, Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I said, holy cow, I'm the one that's going. Boom. I was,
There
and
you
then
go.
I woke up. But I could see myself just turning into molecules.
Right. Yes.
Weird, great.
I think it's a beautiful one where you are so connected and so locked in to your spirituality and to source and to God and to Jesus, that these kinds of dreams, though maybe different scenes or different props, different people along the way, are the confirmation that yes, you are absolutely doing the right thing at the right time, and that He is proud of you.
I don't know. Well, what is a Model T Ford? Is that the life back then, or?
Well, the Model T Ford is just a mode of transportation to get you to heaven. So it's the invitation, it's the card, it's the plane, it's just the transportation through the realms, but seriously, all of these are glorious. And when you hit those glorious moments, that's confirmation back to you that yes, this is right. This is perfect.
You're on the right path.
So funny you said plane, because I've had a lot of dreams about traveling. I'm always in a rush. I'm always going to Europe. And I've had a lot of plane crashes where literally I'll wake up on the ground with planes crash and bodies all around me.
Oh, wow. You've had lots and lots of lives that you're watching, I think, unfold in dreams. I think so.
The bodies like, dear God.
Yeah.
But I'll feel like the plane coming apart and everything.
That's awful.
They're so predictive for you, Linda. When you see that, do you pay attention in the news and go, "Oh, there it is"?
Well, this was years ago when my life was falling apart.
Okay.
I've often thought, am I going to get bad news? Because it was such a horrible dream. I tend to like to go to bed because I like my dreams.
Yes, I do too.
But at that time, I was having these bad, especially airplane crashes, even small airplane crashes.
Yeah. Well, it definitely can be a reflection that there is something falling apart that needs attention. So your instinct is right on target.
I witnessed a lot of planes crashing in the dreams. Hitting a bridge one time, I'd see it. 747 go like this and go straight down. But at that time, there was no. This is years ago. So.
Right. Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. So, geez, we're almost at an hour now.
Almost.
Okay. Everybody's asking about the glass coffin. 2 weeks ago, I had an Anna, this is 129, an anachronistic dream
Anachronistic. Yeah.
dream where Quan Long became a puppet of the Japanese after a coup. Can this mean that the mighty can fall?
It could be predictive. It could also be that something that she values as the highest of highest element within her life right now could not be real, could fall, or that she could see a different outcome. Because, if we're looking at it as it's all a part of who she is, then there's a part of her that wants to be acknowledged as the king, as the ruler, as the all that.
Right.
And sometimes life gives us a little, bump in the road where it's like, rethink that. Here, let us help you rethink that. And it can be really hard, or it could be really easy. She could also be predictive in this. I mean, if she has the kinds of dreams where they do turn out to be exactly what she's saying. So it's hard to know without more information.
But it reminds me of Greek tragedy. Whenever there's a king, the king can never trust anybody as a second. And that's what we see everywhere. And it's time immemorial. We see that all the time. What is it? King Oedipus could not trust his brother-in-law. And, it just made his whole life miserable because he couldn't trust anybody. And of course, we know that with the orange guy.
Putin is right now.
Could be. Okay, are you ready for your questions? Your Stephen Colbert questions?
Go ahead. Hit me up.
I would love to do this again, Linda. The questions that you have are beautiful. So I'm so impressed that everybody wrote and said, hey, what about this? Okay, so here's the speed questions. Apples or oranges?
Oranges.
Burgers or dogs?
Hot dogs, you mean?
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Football or baseball?
Football.
Doobie Brothers or Boss Skaggs?
Doobie Brothers.
Favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot? Oh, there's so many. Ireland.
Oh, yummy. Favorite TV show you're watching right now?
Jesus, what am I watching? I watch a lot of YouTube. What was something I watched? I like the ID channel, Evil Lives. That's one show I turn on and don't turn off. Evil Lives There.
Been on that channel?
Yes.
And then I watch on HBO Max, I watch reruns of Mike and Molly.
Like, nice.
I love that show.
Okay, last question. Gerard or Brad?
Brad.
Awesome.
Do I know about Brad? Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt.
Is that who it is? Oh,
he's a very nice man. I know people that know him, and he's a very, not that Gerard isn't nice.
No, I know.
He's not someone you can get next to, where Brad's more like, I could see him kicking up his heels, chit-chatting about spiritual quests and stuff. I could probably talk to him about stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Whereas Gerard, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Gerard's just a little more quiet.
Remember George Harrison before he left us? He really talked about connecting into the now and all that. That's the kind of language I like to talk to people with, and some people do that.
Yeah, that's right.
The main thing I always tell people is get out of your own way.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's the biggest obstacle. So, Linda, will you come back and do this again with us? It has been so much fun.
It was.
So much
tacos or something else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're going to say goodnight until next time. And
good night, everyone.
We're so glad you were all here, and may all your dreams be.
This is usually I don't go this late.
Yeah.
This is usually
Come and see us on the Dream Detectives. We're usually here once a week.
Okay,
come and see
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, guys, sweet dreams.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks.